Hello there. Welcome to the Harley Carnes podcast, Harley on the Headlines. We're going to take a look at some of the stories of today, and I really do want to thank you for being there. I appreciate it, I hate doing it by myself, so thank you for joining in, and thanks for helping to let people know about this too. Like, follow, subscribe, and tell somebody about it. I would appreciate that an awful lot. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says his country was preparing for a significant attack on Tehran, Iran, when President Trump called him and convinced him to stand down, at least for the time being. Iran has also agreed to stop shooting at Israel. Of course, it claimed to have meted out a painful lesson to Israel over its strikes on Hezbollah in Lebanon. President Trump also claimed in his Truth Social posts that final negotiations on peace are proceeding, and he repeated that the U.S. naval blockade will remain in full force and effect until a final deal is reached. He also claimed that he threatened Netanyahu, said, you could wind up being all alone against Iran and your enemies if you're not careful here. We have to hope that Trump and Netanyahu are playing good cop, bad cop with the Iranians, and that Trump is not just being bellicose. Israel's fully capable and willing to be bad cop again right away if necessary. The IDF has told people who live in Tyre, Tyre, the town of Tyre, including those in refugee camps and in the Christian section of the town, to evacuate that part of Lebanon, get out of the area and move about 20 miles north to the other side of the Zerani River. Otherwise, they'll be in real jeopardy because that area south of the river is about to be a very intense war zone. Hezbollah is deeply entrenched there, and unless something happens pretty fast at the negotiating table, it is not going to be a good place to be in short order. Israel says they know which buildings Hezbollah uses among the people. They are already target designated, so please get out of the line of fire. I can tell you one group of people who will be happy to see the war in Iran end and the oil flow more freely: Cubans. The government of Cuba may be ugly and almost inhuman, certainly inhumane, but the people are resilient, and I think they're admirable. The old cars of Cuba are the stuff of legend, lore, and pride. Those cars are miracles of shade tree engineering. If a Ford piece works or can be made to work to keep an old Chevy running or vice versa, Cuban guys figure it out. And they're wizards with a grinding wheel and a paint sprayer. But even as they keep history rolling along, they need petrol. And the war has turned off many, many of the fuel pumps as well as the lights in much of Cuba.
Estos carros hoy por hoy pasan de generación a generación. Por ejemplo, yo en mi tiempo tuve uno que era de mi bisabuelo. De mi bisabuelo pasó mi abuelo, de mi abuelo mi papá y de mi papá pasó a mí. Son carros que son muy antiguos. Estos carros, para que puedan circular aquí en Cuba, hay que modificarlos mucho. Este es un Chevrolet de 1948, cuyo de él solamente queda lo que es el esqueleto.
En febrero me anoté en el ticket y ya es este mes ahora y todavía voy por el 2.800 y pico. Vaya que prácticamente ni va. Muchos meses ahí esperando 20 litros. No es fácil. Mucho porque la gente no quiere hacerle trabajos grandes a los carros y eso porque no tienen esperanza, como decir, de que van a volver a circular así como circulaban antes. Voy a hacerle eso. ojalá esto, por el tema del combustible, mejore bastante. Vamos a ver.
It is said that change is coming, that the communist government will soon collapse. We pray for that day. Millions of people do. You know, signing up in February for an app to be able to buy some gasoline and still waiting, no wonder people are losing hope. Did you know there was an earthquake near Cuba, and it was felt across southern Florida yesterday? Magnitude 6.1. It was felt from western Cuba all the way up to Orlando, Florida. So not just the southern part of the state. No injuries or damage reported. People felt it at Disney World, but nothing like the tremors that shook up the Philippines, where there is concern about possible aftershocks.
Bantay mo, anak. Bantay mo, diate. Lingkod lang, lingkod lang. Lingkod lang. Lingkod lang. Lingkod lang. Lingkod. Mugilak, mugilak. Lingkod lang. Lingkod lang. Lingkod lang, lingkod lang. Lingkod lang. Dali, dali.
Really not cool when the ground makes you sway and grab each other for balance and support. That quake was vastly stronger than the one that tickled Florida. 7.8 magnitude off the coast of Mindanao. At least 41 people died. 450 were injured. Thousands had to leave their homes. It was the strongest so far this year. A federal judge, Leo Sorokin, has decided that President Trump went too far with his executive order requiring $100,000 fee for an H-1B visa. That work visa is highly prized and granted to high-value workers from other countries being allowed in for U.S. companies. That judge said only Congress can change the fee structure. The White House said no. The executive branch has always run immigration, including setting fees, which is why Joe Biden claimed the power to swing wide open the doors without any fees and without adequately vetting millions and millions of people. A group of Democrat states' attorneys brought this case in court. It is political. The White House will appeal the ruling. Like we said before the voting began, California's election system is set up to make sure Democrats stay in power. Spencer Pratt's attempt to make it into the finals, the November election, as a Republican in the L.A. mayor's race is over. It takes weeks, as long as it takes, in California to count the votes, and Pratt wound up in third place. Nithya Raman, a member of the Democratic Socialist Party, who's already a city council member, has risen to second place. She will challenge another far-left Democrat, incumbent Karen Bass, in November. Just a reminder about the bizarre system there. They don't have two-party or even three parties on the ballot. There's only one line on the ballot with all parties on that one line. And in this year's race for mayor, 61 candidates. And since the vast majority are Democrats, the chances of a Republican rising to the top or close enough to it are slim and slimmer. Only the top two vote-getters and that candidate stew make it to the race in November. And Spencer Pratt's not going to be one of them. Hey, wait a minute. I know this hotel. It was a great one. The Sheraton Arlington between Dallas and Fort Worth, Texas, is no more.
ushering in change with a bang. Not your typical groundbreaking. Today's ground shaking in Arlington has now cleared the way for the construction of a new resort. It's going to be called Americana by Lowe's Hotels. The implosion of the Sheraton Arlington Hotel marks the start of construction for that new property. It will offer more than 500 guest rooms and more than 83,000 square feet of total indoor and outdoor meeting and event space.
It's always fascinating to watch, though. The explosives experts who set all those charges set hundreds of them at just the right locations, brought down that massive concrete and steel 19-story tall hotel. Amazing how fast it came down, wasn't it? 311 rooms. It'll be replaced by a new luxury hotel by Lowe's, the Americana. It'll have 507 rooms in what's called Arlington's Entertainment District. 42 years. That's how long the Sheraton was up. That's not old. Man, they don't let too much grass grow underfoot in Texas, do they? Man, always on the move. New York Knicks fans are going to have to wait a bit longer for history. It's been decades since the Knicks were NBA champs. And if San Antonio Spurs and Victor Wembanyama, who looks like he's 8 feet tall sometimes, have more to say about it, well, fans well know the emotions of loss. But I'm not predicting a loss for the Knicks. Not yet. The Knicks still lead the series 2-1, and the odds are in their favor. Wemby had 32 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 blocked shots. But Game 4 is Wednesday at Madison Square Garden before the series goes back to San Antonio. Well, I guess that'll do it. Thank you for dropping by, for tuning in. I hope you'll come back, bring some folks with you. You've given me a little bit of your time, and I do appreciate it because time, I know, is very precious stuff, and we spend it carefully. We're also on Facebook and X and on Spotify, both video and audio. I'm Harley Carnes. Until next time, do yourself a favor, please. Make some good, conscious choices in your life today. Make a decision to be happy and fly safe. It's the only way to get there.